Hi, welcome to RevSport. This is Ishan and Devashish. We're in Florida. We've traveled from New York to Florida, and of course, we're here to cover India versus Canada and give you all the sporting action. The major talking point at the moment in Florida is, of course, the weather. Weather might play spoil sport. We've reached here. It's dark clouds. There's a bit of rain. And the locals as well have given us mixed opinions. Some are saying that it definitely will rain. Some are confident that the cricket might go on. I've got Devashish with me here. Devashish, Florida, first of all, we're in Florida. We've attended the ground. We've seen the weather conditions. We'll get started off with the ground and the weather conditions first. How's the weather looking? Could you tell our viewers, what we've been seeing today?
Yeah, obviously, as you can see, actually, I'm outside, and it's not raining here at the moment. Yes, there was rains during the afternoon, around 5 p.m., and it went on for now a couple of hours, and it was literally pouring around 5 p.m. But when we went to the ground, both you and me, since we reached Florida from New York, we headed to the stadium. There, it wasn't rain there, and it was pretty dry. Obviously, yesterday also there was some sun. Yes, there was sun out, and
Yeah.
towards 5 p.m. it started pouring. And tomorrow the forecast is for more showers with thunderstorms predicted. And remember, tomorrow USA plays Ireland, and it's a very important for USA. If they can, if the match do not get along, then there is a chance of Pakistan getting knocked out. So that will be huge for USA. But then fingers crossed. But the good news that is developing here is that the weather might stay good for the game between India and Canada. That is on Saturday. There, yes, there were forecasts of SARS, but then latest updates that we have been receiving is that during the match time, the, we might see very less chances of rain, which might see the game. We might yet see the game happening. So that is very good signs. But then again, come Sunday, and the forecast is for SARS, which might see Pakistan getting knocked out. If the match does not happen, and with USA, if both the matches, USA versus Ireland and Pakistan versus Ireland, if both the matches gets washed away, then Pakistan will be knocked out of the tournament. Ishan.
Yes, Devashish, Pakistan will be knocked out. And of course, the Indians obviously have qualified for the Super 8s. So they're through. But the other teams have everything to play for. And if the rain comes and interrupts the play, then obviously it's going to really hurt their chances. The Pakistani team and the players, fans, and everyone about this was also quite upset. They suggested moving the location, but obviously you and me have discussed this in great depth and detail that the last moment changes cannot happen. You cannot move an ICC tournament and change matches on the last 2 days of that given match. Of course, there will be rain. Of course, that match might be washed out, but that doesn't mean that you can still change your plans, which you've already planned since months. Now, Debashi, what do we answer? I mean, obviously, the rain will affect the game's play of Pakistan, and if they don't go through again, this might be an issue. But they should have won those two games against India and USA when they had that opportunity.
Obviously, it is Pakistan's failure, I would say, for not winning the game against India. They had the match in control, 84-3, and they could have easily won that game, but uh, did not go on to win. And then also against USA, they were shocked. But then to be crying that to shift the venue from one location to another, it is simply just not possible. It has never happened, and it is not a local tournament. It is an ICC event, and the schedules are released long time before, and so but no one can predict what the weather will be like. But and all three matches means obviously tomorrow's game between USA and Ireland, day after India playing Canada, and Sunday Pakistan meeting Ireland. All the three matches scheduled for here in Florida will go ahead as per schedule, and that is what we have been told, and we can confirm here that all the three matches will go as per schedule. So Pakistani media or the fans, they may say whatever they may feel like or to speculate, but there are no chances whatsoever for the Pakistan game to be shifted.
Yeah, absolutely right, Debashish. And the major breaking point and talking news here is what Debashish mentioned is that all three games will go as scheduled. However, with the rain forecasts is showing 75% up to 80% rain chances, the chances are extremely less. When the forecasts are so high, then it's almost understandable that there will be rain. And if there is rain, of course, it's really going to hurt the team's chances of qualifying. But besides the team's chances, it might also hurt the fans because the World Cup does not come around so often. The World Cup definitely does not come around so often in the United States. So obviously, fans would book their tickets, would want to come in big, large numbers. Probably will not now because even if we step out in the mornings or in the afternoons, we can see these grey clouds above us. We can see this rain coming down, and obviously, when you see these sights, you're probably thinking, should I go for the match? Should I not? Is it going to rain? Is it worth my money? So obviously, Debashish, the fans will be disappointed, and I'm sure they must be getting an idea of what's going to happen in the next 3 days, even though these matches are scheduled.
Obviously, I have already said this before that there is a chance of that rain might stay away and India we might see India match happening. That's the latest that we can tell our viewers. Obviously, there is still a forecast of showers, but during the time of the match, we might see less chances of rain. So that in itself is very good news. But then once again, and there will be fans coming to support the Indian team, even irrespective of rain forecast, because that has been the story. Means wherever Indian team plays, there will be fans, there will be supporters with the Indian jerseys. But having said that, the one more update that we would like to share to our viewers is that the Indian team has cancelled their training session. They won't be training today. They won't be training today as there is forecast of showers throughout the day. Almost 80% chances of the showers along with thunderstorms. And also there are some forecast of flash floods as well, as we have seen in local television channel news channel that Aventura, in South Florida, has all the roads there are flooded, and so there are forecasts of flash floods in and around. But here, where we are right now, Fort Lauderdale, there isn't any chances of flood flood. So, and that's a positive sign. Yes, there might be rain as is forecasted throughout the day. 80% chances of showers. So that USA versus Ireland match, there is huge doubts for that match to happen, and for that reason, Indian practice session has been called off. But it goes to be seen whether the pre-match press conference happens virtually or not, or actually some member of the Indian team do visit the stadium, Central Broward Regional Park Stadium, to have their pre-match press conference. Ishan.
Yeah, yes, that's another update that, of course, the practice has been cancelled. And even with the pre-match conference that will take place, if there are any updates that we have to give you, Devashish and myself will make sure that we give it to you on time. Just to add to the weather part here, we both of us have actually gotten a message on our phones saying that it's going to be raining heavily in the next couple of days. It might be flooding, so make sure you stay at home. So obviously, we don't know if this is how true this might be, but it's serious. The situation here is serious. It's heavy rains. It's something that we didn't see back in New York, and of course, all these precautionary measures will be taken under control because at the end of the day, if it's raining heavily and if it's flooding, the game can't go on. But the only hope is that maybe, just maybe, that it does not rain as much, and of course, that drainage system comes to good use. You've spoken to some sources here who have suggested that the drainage systems are of top quality, and even if it does rain a lot, these systems might be able to hold that water and possibly get the game going back right away. Devashish, you've spoken to some locals with me, and they mentioned that that drainage system. So let our viewers know what that means and how effective that could possibly be. You're on mute.
We did speak to a couple of individuals uh, who were there at the venue today, and they have assured that the drainage system at the stadium is good. Is good. Means obviously it's not some not it's a proper stadium, and India have already played at this venue for a few occasions against the West Indies. So it's unlike what we witnessed at New York, where there was makeshift arrangements, the outfield. There was a lot of criticism about the outfield being sluggish. But yes, considering the amount of rainfall, I think what we were told is that the outfield, the drainage facility here at the ground is very good. So even if it rains heavily, well, there won't be much loss of time. But the only biggest concern is there, along with the rain, means there are the wind does blow very heavily, and that might just blow away the covers. So that has been the biggest worry for the organizers and the ICC, because so that's the reason they have organized even more covers so as to cover the ground so that the wind does not blow away the covers. And so that has been the biggest worry, because in these parts it does blow, the wind does blow very strongly, and also there is forecast of thunderstars along with cyclones, and this is quite natural in these parts, and so and that is another concerning factor that has been taken into account. You are mute.
Yes, Devashish, I couldn't agree more with you. And if these conditions persist, if it's overcast, if it's happens to rain, and if that match with with Canada still goes on, do you see any changes being made to this Indian side? Do you think they're going to stick to the same team, having won 3 out of 3? Do you think they might experiment with their lineup going into that game against Canada?
There are two ways of looking about it. Means obviously you don't want to change your winning momentum. And means if you look at the contributions from this team, yes, most of them has contributed. Now there were some questions being raised about Shubham Dube's form, but he too had done well with that brilliant partnership of Surya Kumar Yadav, who also scored a half century in that game against USA. And there has been contributions from each and everyone, means be it Hardik Pandya, and be it Shubham Dubey, be it Surya Kumar Yadav. And so, yes, it's the top two players, our two star batters who are yet to contribute substantially. Obviously, Rohit Sharma did um, score a half century in the tournament, but then so I think Jasprit Bumrah has been brilliant. So Arshdeep Singh in the last match took 4 wickets for 9 runs. Mohammad Siraj also looked good. He took that brilliant catch. He was also awarded the medal by the Indian team management for his exceptional fielding in the outfield. So a lot many positives coming out from the last 3 games. So and I say no. I see until and unless the team management think otherwise, I see no changes in the playing 11. I think they should stick to the winning combination. Yes, and if there is a point, there is a case, then you might see a Kuldeep Yadav getting a chance, because we still don't know what the wicket's going to be like, because not a single match has been played at this venue, because the one that was supposed to be played between Sri Lanka and Nepal was washed away without a ball being bowled. So that means we are yet to know how the wicket will behave or how the wicket will play. So the wicket, the conditions will depend what team composition the Indian team goes in with. But if you ask me personally, I see no, I see there should be no changes in the playing 11. They should stick with the winning combination.
There should be no changes, right, Devesh? I think the team's coming together well. Of course, this is the winning team, and if you have a winning combination, like you mentioned, I think you should stick with it and see it till the very end. A lot of players will still want to have the opportunity to go out there and contribute, and I think no better opportunity to do that if rain doesn't come through and if they're playing against Canada. So I think it's going to be a good game to watch. The only question here is that it's 70% rain forecast. We can only hope and pray that it doesn't rain on that given day. Devashish, let's just wrap up that, the New York leg over here is a bit. Can you tell me about your experience from New York? Some of the key takeaways which you can give our viewers, the pros, the cons. We'll have a small discussion on this as well. So what were your key takeaways from that whole New York leg? Were you happy with like the way the pitch played out? Were you happy with the fans turnout? And do you overall think that the ICC did a good job by promoting the event there?
Yeah, ICC tried their level best, obviously, to arranging for cricket in this part is a bit of a challenge, considering that here is no permanent infrastructure when you talk about in places like New York. Yes, in Florida, there we have a cricket stadium in Central Broward Park, but when it comes to New York, it was a makeshift arrangement, a stadium coming up in 106 days time at the Eisenhower Park. But then, as we all know, the stadium is getting dismantled. With the Eisenhower Park will be back in its own shape. But then, if you talk about the positives, obviously the fact that the Indian Pakistan game was a sold out, which we all expected. Everyone expected it to be a sold out one. Obviously, the India USA game was also a near full house. So, yes, true. There has been talks about the wicket. There has been criticism of the wicket not playing to its true nature. Obviously, outfield was sluggish, slow. So these are areas which remains to be questioned. Means obviously, but overall, if you look, I think ICC has done. I won't say stupendously well, but then obviously they have tried their best to make it a success. So I see no chance. Obviously, it's a big challenge actually. If you ask me, Ishan, it will be a big challenge for ICC to get into the household of the Americans, because there is some steep challenge from games like baseball, NHL, NFL, NASCAR. So it will take time. It will take time for cricket to make inroads. But then so we have seen some outstanding performance by the USA team, uh, causing an upset against Pakistan. Someone like a Saurav Netravalkar doing so well. Monank Patel, the captain, also leading from the front. Uh, so a lot many positives in, but then whether they can capitalize on US's success goes to be seen.
Yes, I think there are a lot of positives as well, like you mentioned, but it's going to be hard for the US, just the United States to help in promoting the sport further because there's got so much competition with baseball. Again, like you rightly mentioned, in my opinion, I feel they could have done more advertising, more branding. We didn't see as much posters and branding when we went to the city. More effort could have been put in over there, and obviously just inviting the native American locals to come and watch cricket. I think that's the only
See,
way the sport can
I'll
really
stop
go
you. I'll
forward.
stop you. I
Yeah.
have to interrupt you. See, it's not about advertisement. It's the national team how it plays. See, it may take time, but the interest will only grow if your national team does well. We saw what it was when USA defeated Pakistan. We saw a report in Newsday, a full page report of USA's win against Pakistan. So it won't be overnight that people will start following this game until and unless the national team does well, be it any sport. Means you take the example for Indian football team. If it does well, at least in Asian standard also, then only there will be an interest growing. It's not that if you may play an ISL, you may play whatever leagues you want, but it is a national team. If it does well over a period of time, then only there will be an interest that will grow. So let's not talk about this advertisement or anything. The ICC has done their bit in promoting this game in this part, but it is the national team. If USA goes on to qualify for the Super 8s, that would do a world of good for the game to develop, for the game to grow in these parts. So, and then the real challenge for USA Cricket Association will be to take this game forward. Means obviously to cash in on this success. Obviously, that in USA cricket team has done reasonably well, put up some spirited performances against Pakistan and India, two of the Asian powerhouses. Yes, they might have missed out against India because obviously there is a lot of differences when it comes to the standard between these two countries. But against Pakistan, we all saw what it took. And so I would say that it is it is how the national team performs over a period of time. It's not one or two wins that would take them nowhere. That would not grow an interest. It is how they perform over a period of time will depend a lot in helping the game develop in these parts.
Fair enough, Debashi. Fair enough. I think you're right on that point as well. That it's up to the team to perform and do well to draw interest and attraction towards the sport. Debashi, before we wrap this up, we've got some interesting work that we have to cover today as well. So we're going to attend the press conference. We're going to try going to the team hotel. Anything else that you would like to tell the viewers on what sort of content that they can expect today?
No, obviously, the biggest content that we would like to give share to our viewers, obviously the weather updates, that's taken for granted. Means obviously we are here to give the weather updates. What is it like with the India match day after, since the Indian team is not training with all lot. I mean, obviously it would be interesting who comes for the pre-match press conference. But then if USA goes on to win the match against Ireland, with hopefully if rain stays away, then that will be the story of this World Cup. If USA playing at their own backyard makes it to the Super 8, means that will be incredible, and that will also see Pakistan being knocked out. So that for me will be the story that we would be keeping a close eye on. Yes, both of us will be at the stadium to capture the mood, and also to share the updates from the stadium. What is the weather like? What is the weather updates and stuff like that. So these are two main talking points for us from here in Florida. One is to give the regular weather updates as to how is the weather like, how is it going to be tomorrow on match day between India versus Canada. But then the biggest talking point for us, for me, if you ask me, will be if USA goes on to qualify for the Super 8s.
Well, you've heard it from Devashish himself. It's going to be an action packed day. Hopefully, rain will stay away. We'll be giving you the updates of that USA match as well. But, we'll be giving you constant updates, whether it's weather, whether it's match reports, and also just these regular, stories in the day that we can find and share with you. So make sure that you stay tuned to Rev Sports. Make sure you like the content that we're sharing. We're putting our best in, and we need all the support that we can get. So here's to everyone. And I feel that I think the rain hopefully might stay away, just to end this topic on like on a positive note.
It's still
Unfortunately,
not raining.
what
It's still
what
not
we say
raining.
is, yeah, yes, it's
It's
still
still
not
not
raining, but
raining.
what.
It's and we can,
Yes, yes, it's still not raining, and what we say unfortunately does not come true. And I mean, I wish that what we said came true, but unfortunately, the reports is something that we'll have to follow. It's 75% rain forecast, so we'll have to wait and watch. And until then, me and Debashi should be giving you all the updates that you need. So stay tuned, and we'll catch you all again really, really soon. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.